everyone, welcome back. We have got Shruti Arora who has taken over the channel, and it's all about DevRel. And DevRel is all about. Oh, Shruti, go ahead. I'm talking
Hi,
already.
yeah. Hi, everyone. I am Shruti. I am a front-end developer, and I'm also a DevRel enthusiast. And I have soft corners for communities, and I myself a founder at Hashtag. So, talking about Hashtag is a tech community wherein we share resources, we conduct workshops. This is one of the part of it, and we even conduct teaching boot camps. So make sure to follow. The link will be in the description or maybe in the chat. Yeah. And I'm very excited to be a part of this. Thank you, Praveen, for having me. Let's start.
Always. So, what are we planning to do today? I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be watching us right now. And any questions related to DevRel, this is the time. And as a DevRel myself, I wouldn't say officially I'm a DevRel, but I have been working with DevRels and a lot of DevRel experiences are point to like share my experiences with everyone. So that's why I'm here. And over to you, Shruti.
Okay, as we said, it will be a conversational session. It will be a very casual talk. So starting with my question and like the most trendiest question, like since DevRel is like now becoming a trendy topic. So starting with the most basic question, who is a DevRel?
Okay, so this is a super cool question, and basically there is a lot of confusions when it comes to DevRels and Dev Advocates. Both are almost same. People use it in hand, like different companies call it as developer relations, developer advocates. The term is developer advocacy, and inside that all these things come in. And as a DevRel, what you might be doing most probably is you have either you would be working for a product-based company or a company that can create products and services for other companies, service-based companies, and you are technically a kind of like a marketing person for what you are doing. Basically, if you are going to get a job, you would be planning to attend interviews, and what do you do in the interviews? You just market about yourself. Similarly, that is what is going to happen in DevRel, but on an official way or like in a bigger sense. For example, let's take a couple of product-based companies, or else Shruti, you tell me what is your favorite product-based or service-based companies. I would tell an example for each.
Okay, so if I talk about like maybe Amazon.
Okay, so Amazon, we have got a huge number of products, right? And hi Tanjil, hi Lupin, nice to meet you both. Okay, so if you take Amazon, their flagship product, it's Amazon Web Services, as people from the developer environments know. So they have got a lot of things related to AWS. And for those people who are just consumers, hi, you would be getting the amazon.com or amazon.in or amazon.co.uk, something like that. So let's talk about the DevRel side of things, where it is very much towards targeted towards the developers. So let's say Amazon Web Services releases a new service, and it is, let's say, called something related to the streaming side of things. Hi, Janda. Nice to meet you. So in that case, what happens here is, if you are working with, let's say I'm a YouTuber, and obviously we can call Shruti as well as a YouTuber. And if we both will be benefited by that particular service, let's say Amazon's streaming service, not the Prime service that I was talking about. This is for the developers to make use of their existing setup to maybe enhance your streaming experience for the user along with YouTube. Well, Google and Amazon join together. Up to them. So in case if you are doing some kind of a streaming and Amazon has got tools to support you and you have got zero clue about it, let's say you are an Amazon employee, and that particular time, if you are working with the concerned team or the team that develops this particular software or service, you would be the face of the team as well. So basically, you represent AWS streaming services from Amazon, and you would be demonstrating what exactly you built, and then you will also show the folks how you can make use of it. Like literally, you will be the person who will be like, telling what to do, how to do, etc.
Yes,
And
preparing the people. You'll be the face of the product.
that is true. You would also be the face of the product. So whenever someone says, hey, AWS streaming, oh yes, that's Shruti. Shruti has been doing a lot of things by explaining how you can make this AWS streaming work for you. So those kind of things. So that particularly is a DevRel's work. That is something which I would say.
Yeah. For me, it's like, in a nutshell, it is code. It's like DevRel people do involve themselves in development side, coding side, as well as the community side, maybe, and marketing side as well. Yeah.
So far, whatever I have said relates to the one type of DevRel. There are two types of DevRels. One is the content DevRel and one is the community DevRel. So a content DevRel is the one who works very close with the developers, and the community DevRel is the one who works very close with the people outside the company. Both of them have got the same kind of experience and exposure to the development area. So they both are basically developers first. Okay, so let's say I am a DevRel who is more into the community side, while Shruti is a DevRel who is more into the content side. Okay, so Shruti will be working a lot closer to the developers who are working in the product, while me on the other hand, I would be working with the community who are all right now working on different open source projects. I would be very active in the LinkedIn and Twitter. Mostly LinkedIn and Twitter are the places where people will be very active, right? So we will be looking at, I will be, as a person, I'll be looking at those people, trying to find out who would be the right audience, telling them that, hey, you know that there is a new thing called AWS Stream has come up, and Shruti has been working on it very extensively. And if you are interested, here is a link to the video. And Shruti, on the other hand, she knows extremely in depth about the product, and she would be able to demonstrate a lot more features than I do. I would be telling just the tip of the iceberg, but Shruti will be able to completely explain this is the complete set of features that you can use to enhance yourself. So something like that. So, hey, Himika is also here. Hi, Himika. So yeah, so that's about the whole idea between the difference between the two types of DevRels, which I know personally, which is content DevRel and the community DevRel.
All right. So next question up is, does a CS degree matters for a DevRel engineer for being or for starting up in this career path?
Okay, let me ask you one question for this, like a counter question.
Yeah.
Does CS degree really matter for you being a software engineer in any company?
Not at all.
Exactly. So not at all is the answer. I have seen a lot of people who have got 0 degrees, like no degrees at all, who are DevRels in their early ages when they are still studying. So that makes it a good answer for this question. So you don't need a degree as per, but you need you just need to prove yourself as a good DevRel. One more thing, when it comes to the hiring part, which I'll come to that later, you cannot apply literally for, like, the process will be very good in case if they come reach out to you rather than you go and apply as, hey, I'm a DevRel. Instead of that, hey, you are a DevRel, we want you in the team. That would be better.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so what's the hiring process for a DevRel engineer? I mean, we can change this question as like, what we should know, like share some tips according to you about the interview process and how does it take?
So one good part is like, based out of my experience, I have seen a lot of procedure related to getting persons into DevRel side of things revolves around how active you are in the community and how much you are posting. It doesn't mean that you have to post like hundreds of posts every single day in Twitter, but it's about the engagement that you have got with the community and how much helping tendency you have. It is not something personal, but what I would say is if your posts are helping the community in a bigger impact in a great way, you will definitely get noticed. For example, anytime when I hear the word DSA, only Kunal Kushwaha comes to my head. I'm not sure whether he's a good DevRel, but that is a good impact that people can do. So similarly,
Yeah.
if you talk about like I want to learn the web development in a very simple way, Web Dev Simplified is one of the best channels I would suggest. So check it out, or at the same time check out my channel as well. For those people who are new, subscribe to my channel. So these are a couple of things. Like when people talk about certain topics, they get associated with some people, some person or the other. So that is the expectation of a DevRel. And when that happens, let's say I'm working for as an associate director of a big credit tech company at this point. And if we want, I mean, we are also planning to organize a hackathon right now. So for those people who don't know who I am, hi everyone, my name is Praveen. I'm originally from Chennai, India, currently living and working in London for an associate director of UI core architecture in one of the three big techs for credit techs. So I don't even know how to correctly explain the terms because it's just been a month since I joined this company and it's been awesome. So we are also making a hackathon experience, and my work here is revolving around DevRels and hackathons and trainings. It's all about knowledge. So that is something which I wanted to tell. So even though I'm not the right person to answer about all these questions, all these answers are from my previous experience or from my personal experience. Cool. Yeah, as I said, I'm also
Yeah.
hiring people. So whenever I see someone, okay, so if you take about a particular subject and this is the right person, so that's the impact that you would be giving as a DevRel, and then that impact will be the first ever hiring process, I would say. Thank you, Tanjil.
So do we have a coding round, or like do we have specific number of rounds as like similar in we have in SDE and all?
Contrary to how the different hiring procedures work, for example, software engineer, web developer, you generally have this coding round. You would be having a screening round.
Yeah.
People will try to understand who you are, how you fit in the team, etc. So one more thing which I wanted to tell you here is I work in London and I have been working in the UK for the past 8 years. So most of the answers about my work culture will be revolving around the UK work culture and not Indian work culture. Just a disclaimer. So coming to the hiring process, pretty much it would be similar. So when we talk about anything that revolves around the development area, you would be tested for your coding knowledge. Whereas in the DevRel area, you would be tested for you would be tested for the coding knowledge, which can be inferred from your experience, but at the same time, you would be tested for your communication skills. For example, you can explain a simple example in a way that is conceived by people who are younger age, for example, a 5-year-old kid or your grandma or grandpa. So let's say, let me take my favorite topic. Whenever we are using web development, most of the calls are AJAX calls, right? What would you use? So I'm going to ask you, Shruti, how would you explain AJAX in a simple way? You tell me in a one line.
I mean, I'll first try to simplify the thing,
Okay.
and like not trying to shoot the difficulty in the first yeah. So and then I'll explain how it goes and how like what's the function, how we can request all things from the server, web server, and then display it. And then I'll try to maybe I can use some I can use some visuals to explain. Maybe.
Okay. Let's say you don't
Maybe
have any vision.
the first thing will be I'll try to hide the complexity at the first shot.
Perfect. That's actually a great start. Let's say
Yeah.
there is a grandpa here, my grandpa. He has got zero knowledge about computers. He has never used a computer. How would you explain him? I know it is a tough question. That is one of the if I am choosing a DevRel, I'm going to ask this question. If I'm
I
hiring.
guess there is a different domain which we call as developer educator, which is the kind of in DevRel only. So since DevRel is like umbrella in which we have different people, like we have a marketer, we have an educator, we have someone in the content, and maybe then we have developer advocate. So I guess that would fit in the developer educator side.
Correct. But this is one of the most common quality of a DevRel. To explain it in such a way that anyone can understand, at least most of the people can understand. So how would you explain is my question. The same concept. So let's say there is a grandpa here. There's my grandpa here. He has never used the computer. AJAX concept, AJAX calls, which you obviously know. So in one line, I mean, this is gonna be interesting so that you will also learn how I would take the same thing while how would you do it.
That's now a difficult one because he like a person who has zero knowledge about computers. So
yeah, zero knowledge.
So
okay, you are blank. So first thing is don't get stressed. That is the first thing, and try to understand. Like there are a lot of things in the nature, or naturally there are like a lot of things that you would be looking at places and you can explain things. So that is the first thing that you should consider. Okay, there is a grandpa, and the grandpa must have lived in houses or something like with a house with a window, correct? So what if I explain my grandpa, hey grandpa, what would you do if there are a couple of kids outside playing cricket using a like a stone ball or something like that, and one of them throws the ball into your glass window? I know that you will be very disappointed and you would like to kill that guy, but we are not talking about that. So what about your window? Would you demolish the whole house and rebuild the whole house along with the perfect window, or you would just change the window?
Just change the window.
So that is exactly what happens in terms of AJAX calls. So you would have the same page that is displayed on a printed paper, let's consider, and you are changing, you are interacting like the person who has broken the window, you are interacting with the page, and within few seconds what happens is you need to change only that part of the page, which is you are going to just change the DOM element by using JavaScript. So AJAX is very simple concept. It is not even a technology, it is a collection of tools. Asynchronously you are connecting JavaScript and XML. You are requesting the XML data through JavaScript, and along with that you are using the same JavaScript to modify the DOM elements so that you get a new window. So that's if I explain the same thing to a developer, I'm pretty sure that the developer will be far more appreciating what exactly happens in AJAX, right?
So yeah, basically we have to take some real life examples.
Anecdotes. So that's one of the core qualities of a DevRel, because you would be, as a part of your work, you would be meeting a lot of people who has got zero knowledge about what you are going to tell. So you need to make sure they understand by telling something that relates to what they might be looking at their daily life. So this is one of the qualities. And if you are able to explain this quality somehow, for example, hey, Shruti, I saw you in another YouTube video explaining about this technology. So I feel that you would be a best fit for your DevRel role, which we are hiring right now. Would you like to try? So that's how the whole conversation with the hiring manager happens. And moreover, what you can do to initiate something, because not everyone will know Shruti or Praveen, right? So you can go ahead and tell that, hey, I get that you are hiring for this DevRel position. I did this particular video on DevRel, and I have been a DevRel for a couple of months. with this company, and they have been having this amazing projects that make you work on this way. So I did demonstrate something which is really interesting. There are people who tell in storytelling way as well. So I'm one of them. So would you like
Yeah.
to consider my profile? What do you say? This is one of the easiest way. So hi Vanya, hi Kodwala Love, and yes Tanjal. Sustaining, so Tanjal, this is really interesting. So sustaining a job is very difficult than getting into. So yes, there you go. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. So before moving ahead, I have to say something about SnapDash. So it's SnapDash. This is sponsored by SnapDash. So SnapDash converts NFTs to physical products. So make sure to follow their IG channel, Instagram channel. The link will be in the chat. Where and we'll the two most active participants in this YouTube video will get swags from Cats and Tech and Snapdash. So yeah, make sure to just drop in your favorite emojis and show your
Let me try to
excitement.
get the swags right away. So how they look.
Yeah, that will increase the motivation.
Oh,
Oh,
there you go.
super cool.
It's a sticker, and we can give out a sticker pack as well, along with something like
Okay.
a Caxin Tech branded mask. I'm not sure if that will be ready by this month, so I'm planning to do something really cool. But for now, stickers, yes.
Okay, great. So next up question is how to make a balance between the development side and the community side. Like if I am a community DevRel, so how to make perfect balance?
So one most of the questions that I get is like the perfect balance between your work life balance, the DevRel balance versus developer balance. The first basic thing is you just make sure to get your basic needs sorted. For example, you have obviously as a DevRel, you would be having a leg once on the development side as well as once on the community side. So let's say you might have so how many of you have heard Jira here? So generally the task management, all those things are taken care of by Jira, and make sure you complete all your assigned tasks by the time. But in case there are like, when agile methodology is there, you would be probably doing everything like halfway, and then on an iterated way you will be completing them. So that is actually a good thing for you whenever you are trying to work on something like a complex task or something. All the tasks will be broken down into pieces. Similarly, when it comes to DevRel as well, you would be expected to deliver. Let's say you talk to a community of a couple of students, or like talk to a potential business retailer, tell them about what you have got, or potential retailers. Like you could go ahead to something like Excel London, who's a lot of biggest this is one of the biggest events happening in Excel London, where companies all over the UK come in and then showcase their products. Technically, MongoDB was one of them as well. So any software product or a hardware product. So most probably it would be a software product. You would be having a lot of brochures. So obviously you can take one by one and make sure you get the basics. So every time when you get set a goal for the month. So this is basically I want to have this completed by this month. This okay, that would be good to have, and this is exceeding expectations. So keep it in that way and make sure you have the basics completed. And if you still have time, try for the medium and the above one. So this is one of the most trickiest things to do when you are at work, but this is the best way to go forward.
Okay, great. So what if someone wants to change their career path to DevRel, or maybe someone XYZ is a software engineer and he's thinking to shift his or her career path in DevRel. So what are the tips that you will give to him or her?
So first thing is start with, so a DevRel should be completely extrovert. So I have been an
Yeah,
introvert all my life when I was in school. Can you believe me?
same.
So that is the first thing. So you have to be extrovert. You have to talk to people. You should not have this hesitation to talk to people. And obviously,
Networking will be the main gist.
most probably talking is the main thing here, and also talking with sense. Obviously I talk a lot of
Yeah.
nonsense, but yes, I should start controlling myself. And yeah, so as we mentioned, right, so make sure you come out of your comfort zone and try to talk a lot. So that's the first thing. And another thing is, obviously, like I mentioned before, keep posting great things on LinkedIn and Twitter. LinkedIn and Twitter are the main tools for DevRels, other than the paid stuff or something like that. But these are the two main things that you should be having it, and just make sure you work on something. Hey, by the way, quick stuff. In case if you're watching right now, just take a big screenshot, tag me on LinkedIn and Twitter, tag Shruti on LinkedIn and Twitter, get something social gift. So once you get yourself noticeable to other people, that is the basic qualification what a DevRel should have. And that's exactly what we look at in a DevRel's profile as well. How trustable the person is, how famous the person
Yeah.
is.
Basically, we can share everything in public, our journey. We can share in public. Maybe, like Twitter, I guess Twitter is the best way we can do it.
And you can also start by being a community lead. How many of you are in schools or colleges? Try to get all your friends and ask your friends of friends, not like a multi-level marketing though, but try to tell them that there is this awesome thing going on. Yeah, whoever is a women in tech, you have a place in cats and tech. Hey, Shruti, would you like to say something about cats and tech? As a person, your experience.
Yeah, I guess it's very friendly community. Like Praveen, you only introduced me to cats and tech, and it's like, so women in tech out watching this video definitely can reach out to Praveen for adding the
Or
group.
Shruti.
And, yeah, and it's very friendly community, and we really share any doubts you have in the tech journey. And Praveen is is very friendly in nature. He has ton of resources for you, so make sure to just DM him and follow him.
I mean, and one more thing I should be saying, I'm sorry, Shruti, you kind of like missed it, I believe. Even if not, I will try to get you something somehow. A week before or a month before, I guess, we partnered with a big company and they were giving out LinkedIn Pro things for a couple of live streams when I was working on. So unfortunately, that is over now. But yes, so there are like loads and loads of great learning experiences for students will be coming up. So don't miss that.
We also have a MLH kid, so just flexing though.
Oh yeah, so there is also MLH Guild which just started and it got over. So you could win all these swags. So yes, don't miss them all.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So moving ahead, the main question is where to look out for the resources or maybe job opportunities in DevRel. I mean, apart from LinkedIn, how to reach out to someone.
So first thing is LinkedIn is the main place. That is the primary place where you can look out. And second one is Twitter, obviously. So LinkedIn and Twitter, apart from these things, there are like Google is very smart enough to show you all the jobs that are related to DevRel. If you put DevRel or Dev Advocate, it is going to list out the same number of jobs or same type of jobs and similar jobs. And Tanjil in the chat said this really cool thing. Learning in public is the most important thing. So whenever I learn something new or a great concept, for example, there was this app right as an application, which it started as a service. I would really like to work on that. And I created a stream on that. Unfortunately, that stream is not available right now. So I spoke to AppRight and other companies as well. So those companies, they were coming forward to offer me a DevRel job too. So that was that is one of the ways of you can, let's say you have a huge passion towards Amazon, which is one of the fan companies, and you would like to become a DevRel of that company. you can do what I did. So find out a great niche Amazon product or AWS product, and then try to tell them better than what Amazon could tell, and then get yourself a job as a developer.
Okay. So, okay, we have talked about the positive sides. We have looked to positives, and now talking about what are the hard parts of a DevRel engineer.
Right. So as I mentioned, I don't know how many of you saw my recent post. When it becomes like, as a DevRel, you will become more popular in the sense a lot of people will come to know about who you are, what you are doing, what all things, obviously a bit about your personal information like your own email address and stuff. So make sure to keep yourself secure when you come to the outside world and explain things. There could be the one major thing is like, there are hatred outside and people can show the hatred towards you. So do not get demotivated. I usually get demotivated a lot, and there are like absolutely awesome people around me to keep me chill and calm, and maybe like motivate me to do a lot of things. I even try to quit the whole side of DevRel and go back to work, like mind my own business. But these people were like amazingly supporting me every single time. And even now, if I could see the numbers, so numbers don't mean anything, that is for sure. The quality matters. I'm not sure if I have been giving really quality content, but at the same time, I could see all the numbers are like around 10 or 15 people coming to my live streams, which is kind of disappointing. But at least for you people, you all who are attending right now, definitely this is going to be interesting. So whatever you want to tell, talk to me, I'm happy to answer. So these kind of demotivation might occur. And I have also seen my subscribers level in YouTube. It has always like a dead body, like no ups and downs. Even if there are some ups, there are like downs as well. So the downs will kind of like shock me at times, but again, so that's the part of life. So don't get demotivated in this sense. And when I come to the privacy and breach of privacy, obviously I'm into a lot of troubles. Like even this weekend completely got ruined because my personal email address was leaked out somewhere somehow. And some of the spammy people, they took it up, and then they sent a spam for like more than 40 lakh people. It's like 4 million people out there. And almost every single person who do not know who I am, obviously they wouldn't know. They would be getting an email from, let's say, EDF Energy, and the email address is praveenscience@gmail.com, my personal email address. And they think that it was me who spoofed it and sent them like, you have a bill outstanding. People talk so badly, should not affect you. So these are a couple of things that happened personally to me, including the event that happened day before yesterday. So try to stay strong and do not get demotivated and stuff like that. So that is something which I wanted to tell. And thank you, SnapDash and Hashtag, for coming in and saying hi. It is nice to meet you both.
All right. Now, what does a day of a DevRel looks like? That's my favorite question. So.
That's my favorite too, because in my office at this point, I would be I guess I would be totally talking. So that's the main thing. So make sure your throat is really good. I don't think my throat is able to handle that right now. But just make sure. And one more thing, patience. You have to be extremely patient at this point. Unfortunately, I lack that quality as well. I'm trying to be a good listener. That is one of the main things as well. So there will be a lot of talking opportunities for you, not the opportunity that you may or may not take it.
I guess traveling is like, there will be a lot of traveling. You have to travel to give talks, maybe.
That's the second point. So basically, you would be talking a lot. Second point, as you mentioned, traveling. You should be prepared to leave your home, quickly wrap up your bags, your laptops, all your things. Like, for example, some people cannot live without their pets. So I have all my pets in my computer, so I don't care. So you have to make sure you should be ready for any weekend travels. Like, for example, I'm a coach in MLH, and MLH already gave me a huge advice saying that every Friday, be ready. You need to travel to the US, maybe to all the different parts of the UK. So
you will be giving talk, or you are a coach at MLH, so you will be mentoring and hackathons, right?
My responsibilities are really varied. So one main thing is like organizing events. That is the first thing. Second thing is be a support to the organizer. And second most thing is make sure all the hackers out there who they should be feeling comfortable talking to people. Like if they have any questions, all those should be answered. Obviously, I cannot answer any Python questions, but at least I should be able to guide them through. Oh, this is the problem. This should be like the basic def structure, or this is not the object in Python, but it is like the dictionary in Python. So I should be knowing the basics of each and every language. I have got zero clue about Python, but still I can say that if you are using JavaScript and if you are using objects, it is the same thing in Python. It is called as dictionaries. So something like that. So this is what a basic expectation from a coach or a DevRel when it comes to talking to people who are looking forward to get help from you.
Okay, great. So my last question is share your journey in this career path. I mean, you can give some tips, pro tips.
I would say I would not be the right person because I'm not officially a DevRel, or I'm starting my DevRel role right now. But definitely a lot of things came to me, like, a lot of experiences I had. So with those things, I would say like, be open, be consistent in sharing the knowledge. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will learn something really cool. Sometimes they will be learning from others. Sometimes you would be seeing people learn something new. So try to make a collection of all those things. It is not about the quantity, it's about the quality and the consistency. So make sure you tell it in such a good way. For example, thanks to Eddie Jody, I'm using this particular microphone, which is a condenser microphone, in case if you are talking to people, and make sure you use your gears in the right way. And secondly, if you are using a camera, obviously don't use the built-in camera, use a full HD camera, even a cheap $5 camera or 10-pound camera works for it. Try not to use the built-in camera. And whenever you're trying to tell something, tell it in a very simple way, clear way, rehearse yourself. So these are a couple of things that I would say as a tips. And when it comes to the interviews, try to show your practical experience that are factual. For example, if at all anyone who is looking out for me to join their company as a DevRel, and if they ask me what kind of experience do you have, stop talking, show your YouTube channel or something. I would be showing my YouTube channel and my blogs, and a couple of my blog posts have received more than 1 million views. I would be telling that those stats to them. Obviously they are private in my Google Analytics, and obviously that is also not a good measure, because you can spoof it. Number two, you can make there is no point, like if there are 100 people watching that, they would have ad blocks and other things which shows in the dashboard as like only 70 people are watching, something like that. So there are ups and downs in those things, but try to show it with a proof or some sort of an evidence that you are good in these things. So these are a couple of tips I would say.
Great.
We got our official winner right now, Tanjil. So he has been giving a lot of good points in the chat, and thanks to him as well, because sorry, him or her, sorry about that, I did not watch correctly. So thanks to Tanjil, because you have given me a couple of points. For example, getting a job is easy, but sustaining it is difficult. And we should hey, nice, Lupin is from Liza 5. It's nice. And also another thing is learning in public is most important. These are really two great tips for any DevRel position. So this is what is a basic expectation of a DevRel from both the company side of things as well as from the community side of things.
Okay, so I guess that's up from my side. My questions are very clear. I mean, I'm very clear, and yeah.
And for those people who are watching right now, would you like to ask any questions? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, you can drop in the chat box.
I guess a couple of questions I guess I answered. Some tips on keeping the, how should I say, sustaining the job, etc. So that's, thank you, Tanjil, for those questions. And yes, I
People
do
are
have
asking
the.
about the swags.
Sorry, go on.
Can I get the swag today?
Yeah, he can. I'm happy to give him one swag. Cool. Nice, Lupin. All right. So I hope that was a great session for like, it's hardly half an hour, and I believe everyone can have a quick read through about what exactly happened and what is your experience on it. And as usual, as I say, stay home, stay safe. Make sure you are staying away from all these pandemic and troubles. And
Yeah.
over to you, Shruti.
So it was very nice having a conversation with you. And thanks for having me again. And talking about the giveaway result will be announced by tonight itself on the hashtag page, Instagram page. Make sure you have followed it. And to join the Cats in Tech community, reach out to Praveen or me. So, and also
LinkedIn is
make sure
there.
to follow SnapDash. Sorry?
So we are both LinkedIn IDs are down in the description.
Yeah.
So don't hesitate to reach out to either of us.
Yeah, and you can share, you can start a DevRel journey by sharing this YouTube workshop, as in maybe Twitter, you can share your feedback.
Twitter and LinkedIn or Facebook, anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere. Thank you, Praveen, for having me. It was great talking to you.
Thanks everyone for coming in and spending your valuable time for this, and stay home, stay safe. See you.